We will never have a set of streamers like TSM Fortnite ever again. I'm convinced. These guys need so many flowers, and I plan to do that on this video. I'm gonna give them all the flowers in the world. You feel what I'm saying? Bouquets thrown their way. TSM Fortnite, right? A division of Team Solo Mid esports crew. Nobody cares about esports crews, but they had a division in Prime Fortnite. These three guys, and now there are more guys, but these are just the main three: TSM, Daequan, Myth, and Hamlinz. That was the trio. That was the Heatles of streaming. They weren't even super good at the game. Every other Fortnite streamer at the time was just super good at the game, and that was the appeal. Like, we were watching Ninja because he was just dominating in the plumber era. These guys were just funny, and they brought personality, you know, to the table. That was it. Like, they were good at the game, but they weren't amazing. But if you just have, you know, 50% skill and 50% personality, that was their formula, and they ran with it.
What the hell, brother? Holy shit.
In the content house together, streaming together, and that became the dream for every boy. You know, every boy wanted to become content creators with their friends and live in a content house. That's where these dreams came from. People like TSM. I want to mention Daequan first. We're just gonna go one by one. Everybody thinks a different member of the group is funnier than the other. Like, everybody, you ask somebody what their favorite TSM member was, and it's always a different answer. Maybe that goes to show how funny they were. I don't know. Daequan, okay, was probably the most laid back one, the most normal one of the group. Just brought a lot of personality to the table. He wasn't even super good at game, but he was one of the people who popularized the double pump, you know what I mean? And that alone is history in the game. Using 2 pump shotguns in a row, bang, bang, no cooldowns. You just switch between the two, you could go all day. Popularized that method. It became so popular that they had to patch it in the game. There's another member who did something similar, and we're gonna get to that later. Pretty consistent, if I remember correctly. I feel like he was one of the more consistent ones. No, Myth was definitely, to this day, consistent. So, but Daequan was good too. Very funny, gave us a lot of funny quotes. His streams were the most laid back out of all the three. Myth was probably the best one skills wise. I might have this script completely flipped, but if I remember correctly, Myth was one of the ones who was really taking the esports seriously. He was at all the esports events, all the tournaments. He would be there, that's for sure. He was taking himself the most serious. Something that I found out while watching old TSM videos was that Myth was 18 when he was in the content house. What? Dude was 18 years old, and he was like taking over the world with his bros. He was at the tournaments. He was going crazy. That blew my mind when I heard that. Like, now when I look back, I kind of like, yeah, I can see that. But he looks younger than I do in those videos. Maybe it's because there's no facial hair, and he has kind of short hair as well on his head, but I assumed he was like 21 or 20, you know, at the youngest. But he was 18, fresh out of high school. Who would have thought? Myth was the one who took it the most serious. He would play duos with Ninja, and those were pretty good. They became a dynamic duo of sorts. They called themselves Cookies and Cream.
You know, the video Cookies and Cream?
Yeah.
Yeah, you killed me in that video.
No way. GG's, brother. The good old days, am I right?
Yeah.
Because they love Oreos, of course. Why else would they say that? Because those two would duo together on Fortnite, and those streams would go crazy, do super well. I wasn't big on him. Daequan, Hamlinz were my guys, so I can't say too much on what his streams look like, but he is still, to this day, the most active that was in that group. He never stopped. The other two disappeared out of nowhere, but he stayed the course, and he's still streaming to this day. He's probably live right now. And then we have Hamlinz, which is my personal favorite. I think he's the funniest. I think he's one of the funniest streamers I've ever watched. And it was an acquired taste for me, you know, because like Daequan was the main guy for me, but I liked watching all three of them together regardless. But Hamlinz was kind of like, I slept on him for a lot of years when I was younger, and now I see.
Who said I didn't grow up in a basketball family?
Okay.
Before I came here, my elbow got hurt.
Where's your clothes at, bro?
I don't own clothes.
Wait, where are your clothes?
My skin is closed.
No, where are your clothes?
Like, my skin is closed.
What?
I'm like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's got skin, he's human.
Huh? Your boy don't need clothes, you know what I'm saying?
Where are your clothes?
Look, don't worry about it, my
skipping
guy.
this shit.
Don't worry
Where
about
the
it,
your
my guy.
clothes?
Okay, my clothes are in the washing machine.
Big L, I'm sorry, man. You're gonna have to get your big ass out of here, buddy. I'm about to.
It only took me mad long, but it took me like 3-4 years ago since I realized that Hamlinz is the funniest one. I'm watching his streams back, even when he came back, when he did GTA, did VR chat, when he did Fortnite, and Fortnite wasn't even his bag. That wasn't his bag, you know? Like, he was great, okay? So great that he popularized using cones in build fights.
He has the upper advantage. So what I do is, what am I gonna do? Bah! Where you going? My high ground now.
He was the Oppenheimer of that situation because he was the first person to put a cone over somebody's head. One of the first people to do that. He popularized it, and that changed the game forever. That was one of the butterfly effects. It led to crazy skill gap. Fortnite has one of the biggest skill gaps in gaming. Partially their fault, okay, and Ninja and Tfue. It's funny we bring up Tfue because he was actually like, it became a GOAT debate, you know, between Ninja and Tfue out of nowhere. Ninja was dominating, most mainstream streamer, breaking records, first esports gamer on the ESPN magazine, and here comes Tfue out of nowhere. This is like Michael Jordan when LeBron came in, all right? Even though Michael Jordan retired the year before LeBron came in, or maybe the same year he came in. Better skills wise, but Ninja just had the personality. He had the pon, he had the emotes, he had the sponsorships. He was the go-to guy. He's the face. People say Ninja fell off. I don't agree with that statement. I feel like he's always just floating around in it. Yeah, his streams aren't doing the same numbers, but he's still so relevant because he has a new meme every 6 months, all the way from Ligma all the way to low taper fade. He's always just hanging around. I'm not seeing enough movement. He's just always around for some reason, always in the minds of the people. Let's talk about the TSM house real quick. They used to do a lot of videos in that house. They used to have Nerf wars. They used to play basketball. It was just a good time. They were always messing with each other, scaring each other.
Holy shit.
This was bromance at its finest. These are some of the guys who brought Twitch back into the mainstream. Twitch was always kind of a, not underground, it was big. It had a like cult following, essentially, you know, like, but it wasn't super mainstream. Fortnite came out and these streamers became larger than life. And now we've seen it have a whole evolution all the way till today, and we have a new superstar Twitch streamer every 3 weeks. And the only issue with these guys is that they were mad inconsistent. They would be grinding for a month straight and then disappear for 6 months. And it was on and off, on and off. They were never fully on. I don't know what that is when it comes to Fortnite creators. We look at C-Day, Noah's Noah, Fearless. They were just always in and out. Why are people acting like this isn't the best job in the world? You get paid to play games. And then they came back years later with the Thuum House. They're with NRG, not TSM now. And the thing is, it's just Daequan and Hamlinz. And then their friends. Did Myth not get an invite?
The dudes would.
Can I pause because like I really just want to say how happy I am that they like still got that energy, bro.
He was an integral piece too. People try to act like he was the, you know, just the third guy. No, he was a big piece of it. You know, it was a puzzle with 3 pieces and we're missing one in the middle. And the first few months of this stuff was fire. You know, they were back. You know, they didn't miss a step. They were still just as funny, just as great as they were back in the day. They are always good. They just need to turn a camera on. They were mad consistent on YouTube and on Twitch, and then they disappeared. The problem was never the content. It was always good, but they're just inconsistent. They're disappearing and coming back and disappearing, and now they've been gone for over a year now. So hopefully one day they'll come back. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna call Hamlinz. Yo, he's not gonna pick up, bro. I'm not gonna
Just do it. Stop being a fucking.
He's not gonna pick up, bro.
Either way.
Hello?
Change his number. Change his number, little bro.